Hello everyone, Mike the MC, bringing another self-care video. Today I'm going to share with you number 279 of the Catechism. This is with respect to really God the Creator, and going through a bit of a history with respect to the creeds, going from the fall of man and creation to now the present day. So this is more of a history perspective, but one lesson we could take from it is, when you know your history, how are you going to teach that to people in future generations who don't even want to go back to church, who don't even want to believe in the Bible, or who don't even want to believe in redemption? So as teachers in this world today, how do you want to teach your children, your friends, family, anybody who's curious, that there are sacred truths that are real, but people don't believe them anymore? So let's look at number 279 and drive this point a little further. So it's in part of paragraph 4 of the Creator, 279. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Holy Scripture begins with these solemn words. The profession of faith takes them up when it confesses that God the Father Almighty is creator of heaven and earth. That's the Apostles' Creed. And of all that is seen and unseen, the Nicene Creed. There we have the two. We shall speak first of the Creator, then of creation, and finally of the fall into sin. Finally of the fall into sin, from which Jesus Christ, the Son of God, came to raise us up again. And wow, what a profound history right there. And that moment right there, 279, you could say, wow, that's pretty much the whole spectrum of the Catholic perspective of this reality, this life that we live in. But the thing is, there's more to it. That's why when you dissect that, okay, you have the two creeds, the Nicene and Apostles' Creed. The Creator, seen and unseen, okay, those are two major points from a Catholic perspective, because it's alluding to you that, hey, in the life that we live in today, even in this invisible world, or the invisible parts of our world we live in, behind me, around me, okay, the presence of God is real. Even speaking from me to you through the camera, to you in the video, the listener, you're like, wow, is there something profound that this guy is saying on the other side of the camera that I like listening to, that really is motivating for me to think, okay, maybe my words do carry some weight. And you're starting to believe that you have some power behind it. But the motivation to speak, the motivation to share, okay, that's where I'm driving now with this history lesson of 279 to today's world. How do you teach people who don't even want to go back to church, or who don't believe in the Bible anymore, who don't believe in God, the Creator, or all these old sacred beliefs of the past? People just love technology, but they also love narratives. They also love complaining. They also love gossiping, right? All these negative things you could think about, and you're wondering, wow, we have lost base. We've lost touch with all the things that have made us, you and I, lost connection with the Creator who made you and I to be great. And so we've turned that greatness into now selfishness. And from that selfishness, so the fall of sin, leaking to this piece, you wonder, okay, the redemption through Jesus Christ, the God's servant, the man God, who just gave his life up for all of us to survive, because he conquered death by submitting to it willingly, because we all have to at some point, but then rising from the dead. And that is the thing. Now he's immortal. Oh, he's always been, but he's God. But the point is, he restored the human connection with grace. So don't forget that you and I have a connection with grace that is so profound that you should not give up on that. And when you start with the history of teaching the Catholic perspective, always remember, now going back to the Creator, that the Creator is really the starting point for all of it. The cause and effect. The cause and effect to see, okay, beyond technology and lessons or gossiping, etc., that there was someone who got things moving forward. When you take your time away from the TV screen, even a YouTube video, right? Anything in media, just take yourself away from the screen, and you're thinking, looking outside your room, looking outside the window, and you're like, wow, what a beautiful world. What a beautiful place to live in. I see that I live in a shelter, a place that's warm, careful, carefully built. I see that I can prepare these videos to you very well. I see that I'm safe. I have a place to sleep. I have a place to rest, to study. Got all my clothes and basic essentials. And the thing is, the basic essentials come about because you have a need to take care, a dignity of those things that are around you. And when you respect that dignity, right, God the Creator will respect you in this sense, because you're giving dignity to people back. You're respecting them. You're respecting creation. You're respecting the animals. You're respecting the land. You're respecting the things, resources that have been given to you, to us, to do the good things. And there where you start with history, start with that. Looking at all the dignity that has been around us, to give it gratitude, and to bring it back to the person you're talking to, saying, wow, look at you. I've shared with you these lessons, but how are you going to be someone that's full of dignity? What do you want to do in life? What do you want to accomplish? Let's make it a realistic goal, so that way we can see what you can accomplish. And there, when you put someone to the challenge, to the test, that's where you're using history with God the Creator in this sense to inspire them to believe that, hey, we can be redeemed. We don't have to fall into terrible sins like our old fathers of the past. We can get past all that and recognize, hey, we can build a greater future. So don't forget, you and I can be creators in this sense that we can redeem our families of the past and make something powerful for the future to live on. Things to consider. All right, everyone, I hope this one finds you well with 279 of the Catechism. We can build a brighter future for our families. We don't have to fall into despair. We can look to a brighter future and look at our actions and say, okay, we have learned from our mistakes, and we can make this place a better one for our children, for our kids. We can do this. All right, everyone, I hope this one finds you well. Take care. Have a good one.